Hello, it's Phil from Contemplative Chaos.
And I'm Dominic from Contemplative Chaos.
And today we're going to show you how to build a do-it-yourself nutcracker. We specifically designed this to crack black walnuts, which are notoriously difficult to crack. It does a pretty good job, so we're going to share this with you guys. The common ways of cracking these without a nutcracker is to take a hammer and smash it, which unfortunately obliterates the nut. So you're going to have like hundreds of shards of nut, and you're going to have disintegrated nut meat. The other option would be to buy a nutcracker, but those can range $200 or more, and I'm too cheap to buy a nutcracker. I also thought it'd be kind of a fun little project to design and build with the kids. So that's what we'll be doing. So first we're going to go over a design that is going to minimize the work you have to put into it, and is going to maximize your mechanical advantage.
Most of your traditional nutcrackers use a simple lever mechanism to crack nuts. The nut is the load and is placed nearer to the fulcrum than where the effort, your hand, is located. Being that it's closer to the fulcrum, it reduces the effort required. But black walnuts are extremely hard and would require an unmanageably long lever, so I added the mechanical advantage of a wedge into the equation. Adding a wedge to a lever looks like this. It's a snail cam, or a drop cam, and increases the mechanical advantage by about 20 times than what the lever would alone. This wood project is showing how to make an attractive and functional snail cam nutcracker. Use the concept, but put your own twist on the final design.
Okay, so to start part of this project, I'm going to have a 14.5 by 6 block of beech, and I have appropriately a piece of black walnut wood. This is about 6.5 by 3.25. And then I already cut this out, but I'll still show you how to make this one. This one's a piece of ash that I had laying around. Let's get started. So starting with a piece of black walnut, I drew about a 1 inch in from the side. Going down to 1 inch in from that side, a little diagonal. We're going to cut that, rip it down with the bandsaw, and we'll have 2 of these, trapezoids. Okay, so next we're going to cut this beech into strips the same thickness as the black walnut. So this is roughly 7/8 of an inch. Okay, and now we're going to cut this one down to 1.5 inches. And last, we're going to split the difference on this. So that's 1.5. We're going to cut this to be 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so next I'm going to cut this at a 15-degree angle. So I got the saw set up for 15 degrees. And this will be about 10.5 inches in. And we're just going to cut. Keeping both of these, because what we're going to do, we're going to flip these over, and it's going to make an angle for a dovetail. Next, we'll be taking a black walnut and marking about 5 3/8 of an inch up from the bottom, roughly there, and we'll be drilling a hole right there. It's a 3/8 of an inch hole, and put the two together and drill those. Now this board, so we're going to line them up to here. Get that marking. Because we're going to turn the bottom portion of this into dovetails. So I set this to 75 degrees because that also matches the angle at which I cut these beech pieces to. So it's 75 degrees.
I'm not your typical YouTube woodworker. I'm just a dad, like some of you, that likes to dabble in the skill of woodcrafting. I don't have a large, beautiful, well-lit, and tidy workshop with tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment. Rather, my workshop is the basement in the same room as the oil tank, chest freezer, cat litter box, and, fortunately, a wood stove. It's dusty with plenty of cobwebs, and not the best lighting, as you can tell from these shots. I'm what I'd call a functional woodworker who uses my tools and creativity for practical purposes like walnut crackers, honey dippers, rolling pins, Christmas gifts and ornaments, projects with my kids, with this workbench which I am building on as one of them, and my favorite creation, the baby cradle that all 6 of my kids have slept in.
Okay, it's the next day and we're going to put these onto here. So we have the angles right there. It's 15 degrees. Fits into there. Yeah, this is what I call the cheater's way of doing dovetails, but I found that this was absolutely necessary because the first time I tried making this, it pulled these right out. The force is so great. The reason I have it on this is melamine and it doesn't stick that well.
It can be a little daunting to see those woodworking gurus on other channels and think I can do anything without thousands of dollars worth of equipment, never mind something that looks like you'd want to keep and use. But then I realized I probably represent the common man who doesn't have time and money to spare building awesome projects with exotic woods. I build when I have time and when the occasion demands it. But as my kids get older, I build because I want to teach them something that I know and bond over something that we both worked on. I want them to take something away that they find edifying and rewarding. It demands patience and cooperation.
So if you look, the nails that I had nailed in there, they're recessed. Mika, let's not, okay? They're recessed so the hand plane won't hit them. You do what?
I see you.
You see me?
Yeah. I'm not looking at you, but I'm looking at you.
You're not looking at me, but you're looking at me through the camera, huh?
Yeah. Hello from Contemplative Chaos. Hello from Contemplative Chaos. And today we're going to show you how to make a nutcracker. It's a crack. It can crack nuts.
Sure can.
And then we're going to turn.
Nick, what are you doing?
I'm looking at you. Here.
Mika is trying to be the diva here. He wants to be on camera. So Benny woke up from his nap.
Uppy.
Benny wants a hug. You want a hug?
Uppy.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna flip this guy over. What are you doing, Benny?
Get these guns. Ooh, gun.
Benny's got
And
these
look
guns.
which-
Are those guns?
yeah, the gun.
That's some pretty cool guns right there, Benny.
This gun is mine. This gun is mine.
Is that your gun?
Yeah.
Yeah? He's a boy, for sure. Everything is a gun.
Look me.
Good. Okay, Benny. You want to see a gun, Benny?
Yeah.
I'll show you a gun. Here. Right here. This guy right here's a gun.
That's called a nail gun.
Nail gun, Benny. You like nail guns, right?
Yeah. I do.
How's that, huh? Thing. So like that. Okay, we're going to put more glue on it, okay?
and we are transitioning into the perfect time for woodworking. As the temperatures drop and the daylight diminishes, I'm left with less to do outside, which draws me back to my basement workshop. And as I go downstairs, so do the kids. I fire the wood stove up and boil water for a hot cup of cocoa or tea. They find it special when we drink chocolatey cups of goodness by the warmth of the stove, as I plane or cut or turn wood into something interesting. Magical. I build a bower's bench where they can build bows for archery with draw blades and spoke shaves. It's a place of learning and adventure because I let them take whatever wood scraps they want and whittle away to their heart's content. And I remind them there's no such thing as a ruined project. It's at worst an overworked piece of kindling.
It's just flat, but it looks like it's chocolate. The tip is broken up.
This way?
Should be good. And maybe you're realizing now I wasn't telling you the truth on camera when I said I'm too cheap to buy a nutcracker. I've spent more money on less useful things. The truth is, I like building things myself if I have the time and resources. Woodworking is a life-giving hobby. It's contemplative yet physical, workable but tough. Woodworking enables me to manipulate a wood, which is from a previously living organism, and turn it into something useful and, hopefully, beautiful. With woodworking, I am extending the utility of a dead organism and bringing it to life once again. I think our culture of waste and consumerism has grown too accustomed to buying crap just because we can. We are completely detached from the actual creation of the tools we use on a daily basis, what they are made of, and the work that goes into making them. We don't appreciate the simple luxuries we have access to. What was once luxury is now commonplace. Thanks a lot, Amazon and Temu. Woodworking also challenges me to create and solve problems. As many woodworkers may know, the project at hand is only a piece of the work. Sometimes the challenge comes from the ingenuity required in making specific fixtures and jigs, the thought and process behind making wood do what you want it to do. Sometimes the wood forces us to explore well beyond the workshop and look at the specific properties of different tree species. For example, the beech wood I use for this process which I milled myself, is notorious for warping when air drying. Good luck getting a long, straight board with no twist. Or the peach tree I cut down makes a beautiful handle, but the grain tears too easily and is a bear to cut. Woodworking is a constant learning process, and after all the work that is put into that, the most beautiful part is told in the story of the wood grain. And last, I have a desk job. I'm behind a computer most of the day, but I don't think man was created for that. Our bodies certainly weren't. I believe God gave us a body and a mind for working and turning his creation into something more beautiful and lasting than how we found it. Like the woodworking marvels found in European cathedrals, the wood is meant to bring glory to something beyond ourselves, something that lasts beyond our lifetimes. With all those philosophical musings, let's get cracking.
So the way that this nutcracker works is with these little wedges right here, you're going to adjust the height of the nut. You put the nut in here, and that goes in here. And the reason we have this right here is that prevents it from being pushed all the way in.